guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. It is Q&A Tuesday. All right, so I am a medical coder. I do outpatient medical coding, and this is the show where we talk about all of the questions that I get during the week. It's been a couple of weeks actually because I missed last week, but I get all of these questions, I make them into a list, and then we talk about them on today's show. So if you have any questions, I hope that you'll submit them for next week. And if you're brand new, I hope you take a second to like and subscribe and follow me. And if this video helps you at the end, I hope that you'll share it with other medical coders that you know. All right, so let's get into the questions. All right, number one. Will someone with a nursing background going into medical coding better understand procedures easier? I think this goes without saying. If you have a medical background already and you are wanting to get into medical coding, of course, having a medical background is really going to help you, okay? Because you'll already have that advanced knowledge, okay, of things that most people who are starting out that have no background in medical at all don't have already, right? Which is like anatomy, physiology, medical terminology, that kind of thing. If you have those skills already, if you possess those, you are light years ahead. I had zero experience when I got in, so I'm just saying. But yes, if you have a background already, it's probably going to be a little bit easier for you, okay? The next one is, with the AHIMA program, are the books included in the online medical coding program? Okay, so you'll have to do research on that. Right now, there is a hold on the Coding Basics course, which is on the AHIMA website, ahima.org, because they are revamping parts of the course. So right now, no one can sign up for it. And you can still order the books and the workbooks online through their bookstore, the AHIMA bookstore. Go to ahima.org. I'll leave the link down in the description box below. But for the time being, they've got a hold on the program. So if you are interested and you want to go through AHIMA, you can do other things to start preparing yourself, which is learning anatomy and physiology, medical terminology, and those kinds of things. You can start there. When I hear anything about the program coming back online, I will let you guys know. Okay? So next question. Are there a lot of males in medical coding? Okay, so I've been getting a lot of this question lately. We welcome men, okay? And I say that we welcome men because medical coding is predominantly dominated by women. Okay, this is woman-dominated field. However, if you are a male, please do not let this deter you from getting into medical coding, because I think there should be a good balance between males and females when it comes to medical coding. A lot of times when there is a male coder, they will be put into, like, sometimes they'll be put into leadership roles. Sometimes they'll be put to where they can balance the department out. So there's a lot of that. It's a lot that goes into it. And especially if you're a male, it's great. You know, I mean, any gender really is great. But yes, there are males. So if you are a male and you're considering, just know that you're going to work with lots of women. It's okay. But I'm just saying that it is a good field for males as well as females. Okay, so if you are a male, just don't even worry about it. Yes, you will be in the minority, but that's okay. All right, so next question. Okay, so this was a response to one of the videos that I posted. And the question was, you said in the video you would have gotten your RHIT, RHIA degree. Is that because you feel like you would have gotten further with a degree or gotten a job faster? Would you have wanted to pursue a manager position? Okay, so the reason that I said that I would have chosen the degree route after getting like a CCS, the Certified Coding Specialist, is because when you have just credentials, if you don't have the CCS, right? Because I have the CCA, okay, which is a Certified Coding Associate. And yes, I am proud to have that. Yes, I have stuff going on in the background. No, I am not talking about that right now. But the reason that I say this about the degree programs is because there's so much more you can do with having a degree. And with going through the degree programs, you have to go through an externship. So that's usually when you can get access to people and make those job connections and things like that. So there's a benefit there. There's also the benefit of being able to get into those positions in a HEMA, right? In the HEMA itself, in the organization itself, and holding a chair or holding a position in the organization. Is that something I would love to do? Absolutely, because I think it would be awesome every year when I go. I've been every year, except I won't be going this year to conference. And I didn't go when they went to LA a couple of years ago because I broke my rib. But every year when I do go and I see the people up there on the stage and they say, this person holds this seat, this person holds this seat, this person holds this seat. And I think how exciting it must be to actually hold a chair in the organization, to be a part of them. And it's usually people who have the CCS. Sometimes they have the CCSP. And most times they have the degrees. And so like that's what I think of in those types of things. And plus, when you're looking at like the managerial side of the house, I want to say it is a goal. Okay, I would love to do this, but the idea is still coming together, right? So my ultimate goal, in which I don't have to go to college to do this, right? I don't even have to hold a higher degree to do this, but a goal or something like that. I want to call it a goal. I'll call it a goal. A goal of mine would be to have my own business and to run a group of like orthopedic doctors, because I love to do orthopedic coding, and I would love to do this orthopedic setting, and I would love to be able to be the one who hires all of the coders to train them, to teach them how to interact with providers and how to do proper injury coding, how to do different things, and how to make sure that they are so detailed that when they do leave and they go out and work at another facility or whatever, these are going to be people who are so well developed as medical coders that whoever hires them is going to get a very valuable piece of manpower. And that is something that I would love to do. I would love to create that family environment, like have a business that's like that. And the way that things are right now, currently in my clinic, when I am there, because currently I am not because of COVID, I am at home. And so this, while I understand it and I will do it as long as it is absolutely necessary, the very second that I can go back to my clinic, I will be back in my clinic. I will be happily back in my clinic. And but the dynamic there is a family dynamic. Okay, it is. We are the crazy cousins and aunts and uncles, of each other, and so we treat each other as such. We treat each other like family, and that's what I like. And I would love to do that in a setting that is more smaller but can grow, and then just be a training ground, but yet be something that is very cohesive and teaching and that kind of thing. So does it make sense? That's what I would love. That's what I would love. And I would love to be one of those places where people actually love working. Like, how they have big companies like Google and things like that, how they love to do things and how they give their people a lot of autonomy. I would love to be able to do that too. Something like that. That is the reason why. So I figured that getting more education would be better for that. Although, like I said, I don't need it. And that is more for being more involved in the AHIMA organization than anything else. Like I said, right now I have to wait because I have got all this stuff going on in the back with my professional development. that it's, I just have to wait until I complete everything, right? And then I can I can move forward and perhaps do that then, But yeah, that is the reason why I said that. And like I said, I love what I do. And had I known that I was going to have this love for it, that I was going to have this amazing love for medical coding, I would have invested more back then, okay? And done it that way. That's what I meant by that. So hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, moving right along. But yeah, that was my answer on that one. Let's see. Oh, so somebody commented in the comments, email me for a potential business opportunity. Okay, I don't email people who say email me for a potential business opportunity. If you want to do a business opportunity, my email address is in the description box below. And my email address is on my YouTube bio page. It is on my Instagram. It is literally everywhere. It is on my Patreon. There is many ways to get a hold of me. If you want to get a hold of me, you get a hold of me. I don't email people. Like, why would I do that? I don't know what you're up to. What are you up to? You know what I'm saying? So be straight with me and I'll be straight with you, because I have no reason to email people. If you want to talk to me, then email me or comment below and state your business. But other than that, let's just, that was my answer to that one. Okay, so the next one is, how long do you estimate self-study will take? So usually when you are in an online program, it is like 9 months or a year. So it's going to depend on, if you are studying independently to be a medical coder, you are not going through a structured program. And I found out from Laura, thank you, Laura, shout out to Laura, that with AAPC, they allow for people to not have any prior experience as a medical coder, that you just have to be a member of the association of AAPC, and then you can sit for their credential exam, the CPC-A, right? So you can do that. The exam is like $399. The membership fee, I believe, is $174, I think she said. So, but yeah, that's what they require for if you want to sit for the CPC instead of the CCA with AHIMA. So just an option there for you. But yes, if you are doing independent study, it's going to depend on how fast and how quick you are absorbing the information. That's number one. Number two, how are you committed? Are you committed to learning? Are you putting yourself on a schedule? Because if you are, then I'm thinking like 9 months that you can be studying and then preparing yourself. And then in that last month, work with that test prep book. They usually have test prep books for the CCA or the CPC. And you can just take those and see where you are and see if you need to study anything else. Now, granted, those questions are probably not going to be on the test, but it's going to give you a good barometer as to where you are in your development as a medical coder. So if you're doing that, I would estimate 9 months, but it could be up to a year. It just depends on you and how you are absorbing the information. Okay, so next question. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, when you first got your, I wash my hands, okay? Just so you know, the mold count is very high today. Just saying. When you first got your credential, does it have an A on it? I actually have a CCA, which is a Certified Coding Associate. The A designation is a AAPC thing, because they have the CPC-A, which stands for apprentice, and you have to do a certain number of hours, like working a certain number of hours in order to have that A removed, or you can go through a program through them called Practicode to help you get that A removed so you can be the CPC and not just a CPC apprentice, okay? So that is a designation through them, and if you have any questions, you can contact AAPC. Okay, so the next one is, do entry-level jobs uh, what do they mean when, do entry level jobs expect you to know everything when they hire you, or will you get on the job training? So they're going to expect, obviously, if they know this is your first job, they know that you have no experience. But you do have to take and pass a job assessment or an assessment test before you even get an interview. So if you do very well on the assessment, obviously they're going to give you the interview. And then they'll decide from there. They will know that you are a brand new coder, but if you tell them that, hey, I do have a question or whatever, they are going to expect you to know the fundamental basics of how to medical code. Because one, you passed your credential exam, you're going in there armed with a credential, right? Number two, you're in the medical coding field. They're going to expect you to know how to do the basics, but digging into the more interesting parts of it, the more detailed parts of it, can require some questions. So they're going to understand that you are going to ask questions. However, I have always recommended that you guys know how to do your research before you go and ask questions, because if you are brand new and you are running back and forth to a veteran medical coder asking questions constantly all the time, they're going to get burnt out on you asking questions, okay? So you want to take the ability to ask questions very sparingly, okay? Don't put yourself in a world of hurt, but at the same time, make sure that you are doing your research and they know that you're doing your research, so that you're not asking them questions like just because you don't want to do it, and it doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just want to skip over it, so you're going to ask them for the answer. They're going to get mad, okay? I'm just saying, because not all coders are like me, where they'll answer your questions, okay? Some of them are not like that. Some will have the idea in their head that nobody trained them when they first started, so they're not going to train you. Personally, I think it's wrong, but what are you going to do? Not everybody thinks like I do. So yes, know how to do your research before you go and ask questions as a brand new medical coder. A lot of times they will train you on the electronic health record that you're going to be working with, because everybody doesn't use the same electronic health record. So that you can expect some training there. But when it comes to the basics, the fundamental basics of how to code, they're going to expect you to know how to do that already. Okay. Next question. Do you feel that once the hospitals get their coders set up for working remotely, do you think this will be the new normal? I hope not. I hope not. Like I said, as soon as I am able to get back to the hospital, I will be back at the hospital. There's plenty of room. They can leave me at the hospital, but until we get COVID under control, we are at home. So, but yes, I mean, a lot of people are excited about it. I have done remote coding before, so I know what it is. I think that this excitement is going to wear off really quick for these ladies that were very excited today about it. That's just the feeling I get. So because it's something new, they're excited. But yeah, wait a couple of weeks and we're going to be singing a different tune. I'm just saying. So, but yes. Again, it's because I already know. I already know what to expect. That's why I can't wait to get back. Okay. And the next one is, let's see, how did I write this here? Oh, in the video, what to know before becoming a medical coder, you mentioned being away from your family a lot. Can you explain? What I meant was, when you're studying to be a medical coder and you're in school, of course you're going to be away from your family. That's what I meant by that. I mean, coding jobs are regular, hour jobs, like hourly jobs. And that's what I meant by that. But I'm talking about, like, in the beginning when you're about to study, of course, that time, all these hours that you're spending away from your family to study is going to be very important, that you invest all that time in studying. And a lot of people, there's some people that say, well, Blue, I don't want to do that because I don't want to be away from my kids. Yes, Okay, but here's the thing. First of all, you looked into medical coding for a reason. That's number one, okay? Number two, this is just temporary. When you're spending time away from your kids, it's not for years on end, okay? It is literally for maybe 9 months to a year that you're studying. And yes, if you structure it right and you make the time for studying, it's not going to impact your family time like you think it's going to. And I don't know why people think that just because they want to do something professionally with their career, oh my God, you got to give up your life and you got to give up your family. No, you don't. So many of the women that I work with were mothers when I first started. They're still mothers, obviously, but they were mothers to little kids, and they still worked. And you know what? One day, your kids are going to leave you. They're going to have families of their own. And then what are you going to do? So if you looked into it, and you looked into it because you want to do it, don't let just a little time that you have to spend away from them just to study for yourself scare you into not wanting to do it. Because then what are you going to do when they leave and they get big and they're out the door? What are you going to do then? Sure, could you go back to school? Sure. But, learning when you're older is going to depend on you. Some people don't like the idea of having to go back to school after they get older, and some people they don't mind. But if you take the time to put a little bit of time for yourself every day, it's really going to set a good example for your kids. And that's something that you should think about as well. If your kids see you, then they may not understand right then and there, being little kids, right? They may not get it. All they see you is mommy or daddy's with a book, and they didn't play with me. But then later on when they get bigger, oh wow, my mom or dad, I remember seeing them study and they worked so hard, and I want to be like that. I want to be just like my parent, and I want to do the things that they do, and they worked really hard and they got this really good career, and now they do medical coding, and now they do this. That's something to think about. Think about those positive things. It's not always negative if you have to be away from them temporarily. Just saying. And I'm going to get off my soapbox on that one. All right. And then finally, the last question for tonight. Do you write your credentials, my CCA, like credentials, after your name on non-work related documents, or is that just a doctor thing? The only time that I include my credentials, I write my name out and I write comma CCA. The only time I do that is on work related stuff. On my email signature block, I will put my credentials on there. The door that for my office has my credentials on it too. It has my name with my credentials. Whenever I'm signing my my audits and things like that, I will sign it with my credentials. So it's really only when I'm in my work zone, that's really the only time I use my sign my name with my credentials at the end. It's one of those things. But if I had a PhD, then obviously I would put PhD if I did that, But no, with my credentials, no. Even when I get higher with my credentials, I probably won't do it unless it's like work related stuff. So, but yeah, but everybody's different, so it's entirely up to you. But professional designations like that are usually just put on work related type stuff, documents, things like that. Or if you're running a business, that kind of thing. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. So, yeah, that was it. Those were the questions that I got. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if it did help you, I hope you'll share this with all your coder friends or people who are potentially interested in becoming a medical coder. So, I will go ahead and wrap this one up. But if you are a medical coder, a medical coding student, somebody curious about the fascinating world of medical coding, a provider or a nurse, I invite you to like and subscribe and follow me on my journey in medical coding. I will see y'all next time. Bye.